To the gentleman from California, Mr. Bilbray.
Gentleman from California is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I am truly honored and proud to be here today as a co-sponsor of this bill. This is a bill that will protect and defend religious symbols on war memorials from Washington to San Diego. I think that we need to remember that one thing that was a foundation of this country was religious tolerance. And this bill is addressing the fact that there are those who refuse to express religious tolerance and are actually out after any symbol, no matter how traditionally accepted and how universally accepted by the community, as a general recognition of service and devotion and memorial, that they would attack it if they could find a religious connotation in any form. Remind you, our Constitution protects the freedom of religion, not freedom from it. But I think that this issue is one that has gone so far that we're actually talking about tearing crosses down over war memorials. And I don't think any American across the board who really believes in tolerance would support that. I'm very honored to have 4 plaques at this memorial at San Diego. Frankly, I have a father, a stepfather, a brother, and a stepbrother whose plaques are at the memorial at Mount Soledad. This is a family effort. I remember as a child my father pointing up at the cross up at Mount Soledad and that memorial that it symbolized and said it was one of the few in the country to the men and women who died in Korea. Now, I also was very privileged in 2006 to be the co-sponsor of a bill with another Duncan Hunter, Duncan's father, that specifically had Congress and the federal government come in to save this war memorial. Mr. Speaker, if you're not going to support this bill, if your attitude is that any religious connotation anywhere in the world that is on federal controlled property needs to be torn down and destroyed, then you can take that position. But don't stand in these chambers and point at religious symbols over in Europe or in San Diego and say they must come down or you will not defend them. If you're going to sit in these chambers with Moses at one side, Pope Innocent and Pope Gregory on the other, and Calvin in this chambers, if you're not going to stand up and demand that this Congress tear those plaques off these walls, then for God's sakes, leave the memorials at our war memorials alone and don't tear down religious symbols just because you're intolerant and can't stand the fact that there are some of us that respect our war service and respect their faith, but most importantly, respect the heritage that has made America what it is today, and I yield back.